Can you be a feminist and also be into rape fantasies?
You're like, rape.
Fantasies.
Rape roleplay.
Or even just anything kinky and submissive, to be fair.
Yeah, I think definitely have gone through that phase of like, I'm a powerful woman. Why am I letting some bloke throw me around and play with me non-consensually?
Yeah, why do I want a guy to throw me down on the bed and have his way with me?
Yeah, while I'm crying and struggling.
Why do I fantasize about someone breaking into my house and
Yeah.
fucking me?
Why do I fantasize about being kidnapped and used as a sex slave against my will?
I had that fantasy from a very young age.
Too young,
Like a
man.
really weirdly young age.
Yeah. Where does it come from?
I don't know. I was daydreaming about being hooked up to this like machine where all these like basically loads of people were hooked up this machine, and then I was forced to have sex with the gross boys in the class that I didn't want to have sex with.
Yeah, and at really, really like questionably young ages.
Yeah,
I remember looking up like
young,
torture
like
devices, but like sexual torture devices.
Yeah. Wow, so this is ingrained in us like from a very young age.
Yeah. I mean, we've had great fucking childhoods, haven't really gone through anything traumatic. There's no real reason like for it. Like, why?
What's wrong with my hair? It's got like a wispy sideburn.
Oh.
Let's just tuck this away. Get on with the rest of the video.
So yeah, we are here to make you understand, and for us to both understand why, and actually
how you can be feminist and submissive.
Yeah, because we are both technically feminists.
We are feminists. We believe in equality and women's rights and equal pay and all that. Basically, how can we be strong, powerful women and also want to be overpowered and have no control in the bedroom?
Yeah, completely humiliated and disgraced, and
I want to be spat on and told that I'm a slut. Not really. I actually have a little bit of a problem. Someone was calling me a slut and like a whore.
Yeah.
Dirty cum slut or something.
Yeah.
And I was actually like, I'm not actually okay with being called a slut.
I think the difference is who's saying it.
Maybe, yeah.
Massively. It's all about the fact that we are in control and there is consent to an extent. You know, it doesn't matter how dominant somebody is. They are not going to do anything that you're not okay with. That's like the overall rule. That's how we can... And it should be the same either way round as well. But if they're suddenly calling you a slut, or they haven't really had that conversation with you, or the feeling's not right or not there, then it's a bit like, ew.
Yeah, you always need to have the conversation first.
Yeah.
Like, not are you okay with me calling this, but like maybe just like testing the waters.
Yeah. You don't have to have like a, do you like this and do you not like that?
Yeah, it kind of comes up in conversation naturally, I would say.
Well, yeah, we'd hope. I mean, this is why in the BDSM kink realm, communication is so good. It's better than like anywhere else, because people need to talk about it rather than thinking that you're like fucking hot shit, you're the biggest dominating cunt, and just thinking that you know exactly what to do and how to treat a girl and how she will like it. That's not what a real dom is. A real dom is someone that, you know, makes sure that they check in and see if what they're doing is okay. Like, that's when it's fucking hot.
Also, I guess like being women nowadays, like we do have to be pretty in control of our lives.
Absolutely.
We are more powerful, and we have like jobs where we are the ones in charge. We are the ones that are earning more money, and sometimes the things that you like in the bedroom are like the opposite of what you have in your real life.
Yeah.
So you could be like really in control in your life, and then be like, actually in the bedroom I want to lose control completely. That's why you get quite a lot of submissive men who have like really high up jobs.
Yeah. It's almost like relinquishing that control is almost so orgasmic. It's in itself. It's
exactly.
just like, don't want to have to think about stuff. I don't have to boss people about. I just want you to take control and do it for me. But then it's also going back to like animalistic behaviour and how like the like masculine and feminine, and that really interests me. The whole chase thing, you know, men really enjoy a chase, or someone who's dominant enjoys a chase. It would be the reverse as well. If you get a dominant woman, they would probably enjoy the chase of someone, you know, that might just be a little bit more timid.
Part of being dominated for me is enjoying really masculine energy over me.
Oh yeah,
because that is the biggest turn on for me. Someone that's super masculine.
I don't know, man. Mine goes to extremes though, because I like very extreme rape scenarios. Like, again, kidnapping. I don't want it to be just like, oh please don't. Oh no, like I want it to be like kicking, screaming, punching, like getting away from each other. Hardcore.
It actually needs to feel like a little bit real.
Yes.
Because otherwise it's like, because I kind of experienced this recently with someone, and they sort of said some things, but they weren't really acting it out in like a strong way, and it was just like, well, if you're gonna say these things, you have to do the whole thing, because otherwise it's just not gonna work.
No, well, it's unfortunately a turn off. unfortunately. I'm sure there are dominant people that we've played with that wouldn't be okay with an extreme scenario. And there's people that were, you know, have done that before. Like, oh yeah, can we do a kidnap, or a break-in scenario? Yeah. And then it's not gone to plan, or not really, I mean...
And also, sometimes you have this huge fantasy on, like, oh my god, this is going to turn me on so much. And then in reality, it's actually like, oh, actually, this is a bit weird.
Your own fantasies, when you actually play them out, you can realise that you're not into them.
Yeah,
again,
100%. And that's okay.
Yeah.
Like, it's okay to want it in your mind, but not in real life.
Like being called a slut or a hoe. I want to be choked on a dick so much that I throw up, but the idea of that is hot, but I don't think I'd like that in reality.
I think, because I've had a similar thing when masturbating, like pretending that someone was like shoving their dick in my throat to choking.
Like,
and when I deep throat in real life and I choke a little bit, like, I don't like it.
Yeah, when you gag, you're like,
oh, I don't want to, because I don't want to puke.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to do that on your dick. Sorry.
Yeah. Same with like being choked, strangled. Actually, hair pulling, I like the idea of, but when it happens to me, I don't like it.
Really?
Because it hurts my head so much. It really distracts me from the pleasure.
Yeah.
So this is all important stuff that needs to be talked about. Again, it's like you're never taking away the control from the dominant person by talking about things and by suggesting things that you do or don't like.
Yeah.
That's not removing the dominance. It's just giving yourself like limits and parameters for you to play safely in, because you are dealing with stuff that can be dangerous, that can be sensitive. You know, shibari, like Japanese rope bondage, thinking, oh yeah, that's cool, I'd love to be tied up like that. But what if someone tied you up and you lost complete feeling in your arm and it hurt, and you were not really in a situation where you're like, you didn't feel pleasure anymore because you're so distracted by something else?
Yeah,
So
I can imagine that happening, actually.
Definitely.
Because the idea of it is so hot.
Yeah.
But, like, is the reality? I don't know.
Well, that's what porn is. You're watching porn and you're imagining like everything that they're feeling and going through, but you don't actually know what they're actually feeling or going through. You know, the guys there might be acting like they're into it, but they might be like just thinking about what they're cooking that night.
True.
Or like they're just doing it because, you know, it's a porn scene, doing it for money. Or one of the girls could be like, I actually don't feel your dick at all, but I'm pretending that I'm like really like into this and it's so big.
Yeah. But I guess the thing here is that rape is such a taboo fetish, a kink.
Oh yeah, and it's a scary word.
It's one of the biggest ones. And
Huge.
there are so many women that have rape fantasies. Obviously, whenever it's mentioned, I'm sure there will be in the comments of this video people saying that it's not okay to have a rape fantasy.
Yeah, well, it makes people feel uncomfortable, especially the idea of doing something against somebody's will. We are not promoting in any way, shape or form any kind of behaviour that is non-consensual. We believe that doing anything consensually, you could do anything you like consensually. Again, I don't want to use the example of the extremes of like using a knife, but if somebody's into being cut and another person's into cutting and it's both consensual, like that is okay. It's just quite fucking extreme.
And dangerous.
Yeah, and very dangerous. You got to talk every step of the way. Like needle play.
Yeah,
huge
that
fetish.
Is dangerous too. But yeah, it is a huge fetish. And if both people are trusting and consensual, then you can do it.
Oh, same with spanking. And you think like, oh yeah, spanking would be really hot. But if someone spanked me, I'd really probably not be okay with the pain.
Yeah. Spanking is so hot, but like sometimes in reality it actually just hurts.
Yeah.
And you're like...
And it's really down to the person. Like you might get someone that's really in tune with your body, knows how to spank well or spank you well, and then you might get someone that literally is just fucking whacking you.
Yeah, I think that's what happens quite a lot with me in the past, is that people don't really warm you up first and then they just kind of like hit your arms.
Oh yeah, you got
really hard. But I guess the moral of this story is that you can be a feminist and be into all this shit.
Oh my god, actually I almost think it makes you more of a feminist.
You're taking control of the situation by being into it, really.
Yeah. And you don't have to verbally take control. You can literally be physical, it could be with your eyes. You need to have sort of a certain code. But it's all about feeling safe with the person that you're with, enough to try these extremes.
You always need to feel safe with this person.
So many girls I know that are into being dominated, and if not, again, these rape fantasies, because rape is such a scary word and it does frighten people, of course, because actual rape is horrific. It is scary. It shouldn't ever happen to anybody, anything non-consensual.
I feel like people are turned on by things that are like scary though, or like
risky.
bad.
Yeah, well, like, I'm into fucking every villain in every film.
Exactly. So like the worse it is, really, the more of a turn turn on it is.
Yeah,
well, maybe,
it's like
not
risky.
really, but
It's hard to talk to people about it as well. If you were to approach your
God.
partner
and
be
say,
like,
could you pretend to rape me, please?
yeah, lots and lots of people would be like, what the fuck?
Yeah, but it's kind of like the hitting thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like really hard for guys because they're like, wait, I've been taught my whole life not to hit girls.
Yeah.
And you want me to hit you?
It's the same with if a guy was asking a girl to do it.
Yeah.
If a guy was saying, please hit me, like I want you to hit me.
We've been taught not to do that, so it's
Yeah.
hard. And obviously been taught not to rape people, so it's hard to then be like, okay, I'm going to pretend to rape you.
But then that's the lack of sex education. It's saying like,
Yeah.
it's okay if it's consensual.
It's actually really healthy to act out your sexual fantasies.
Oh yeah.
Because otherwise they're just in your mind and like they just stay there and
Spiral out of
you
control.
get bored.
Oh, I'm more thinking it gets worse. Please, with whatever role play that you do, make sure that it is communication, because you can also want to try out a rape fantasy and halfway through not be into it.
Yeah.
And that goes for both people.
Yeah, and it's okay, and this is why people have safe words.
Yeah, so be proud that you're into something weird and unusual, and also help others to feel less shameful.
And understand it.
Especially a lot of men
Yeah.
think that if they're into a rape fantasy, then they are a bad person, that they are a rapist. And it's like, no, there is a fine line between actual non-consensual rape and fantasy.
So feel okay for liking these things in the bedroom. We both have the rape fantasy. It's okay if you have the rape fantasy too.
I don't think I can have sex without it.
Every time I have sex. It's
Every
very-
time. Yeah.
Okay, well, if you found this video useful, please give it a big thumbs up.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm just thinking about sex. What do we say? We say comment as well. If you have exactly the same thoughts, or if you have even better advice, or if you've had experience that either goes with us or against us. You know, we want to hear it all.
Yeah, I think it's important to have discussions about these subjects because obviously it's a bit of a touchy one. It's good to talk about it because we need to be open about all our taboo things that we're into during sex to make everyone feel okay about it. I don't know what I'm saying. Anyway, subscribe to our channel and hit that notification bell so that you never miss us. Listen to our podcast. It's called Fucks Given. You can find it everywhere. Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Acast.
And if you want us to talk about this subject more, we are happy to. Okay, guys, I just had to add, while Florence is just sorting out her menstrual cup, that if you have dealt with sexual trauma before or sexual abuse, doesn't mean to say that the sexual abuse made you enjoy the rape fantasies. This is just another thing that your mind wants to do. It's unfortunate that they are similar, but they are definitely 100% not the same. Best thing to do actually, if you are unsure or if you are still trying to deal with some kind of sexual trauma or sexual abuse, then please do not hesitate to speak to somebody or a professional. This can be someone like your doctor or a therapist, but this can also be a friend or a crisis line or a charity. Do not hold this in silence, and it just really helps to voice things out and just for you to understand them more so.
Bye.
Bye.